For each of the items at the beginner level, because there's so few moves, it's really easy for people to just, oh, okay, I'm going to work on these things in these contexts. I'm going to work on, I have my weave down in terms of practice, but I want to actually connect it to more things. So I'm going to put that in the play column. And I have my corkscrew down. I have good connection to it. I want to figure out how to express it more. So I'm going to put that in the performance column. I don't really have my 4-petal anti-spin down. I'm going to put that in my practice column. Now, that might not be a beginner move. It could be just even the giant, just the long arm extensions, which is a tougher one for beginners because of the core motions and maintaining the tension across the tether all the way to the tip of the poi. And the point then is to consciously choose to determine what you're focusing on based on your goals. Now, it's arbitrary on the worksheet. I put 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. It could be 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. It could be today, tomorrow, next week. It could be 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. It's whatever you want. I created a set of goals for people based on the context in which they were attending classes at the school. And often I had students who were coming to me because they wanted to be able to do a performance by a certain period of time, which was usually 6 months later. So I built the worksheet with that in mind. Whatever works for you, it's more about the concept than about the specifics. The one other thing that's on the worksheet that I think is really relevant is I want to practice the goals there. I encourage people to build their practice goals not based on completion of a task, because you can't control how long it will take you to learn something. Rather, to build it based on what the goal is in terms of time, because you can control how much time you're on the mat. You can't control how long it'll take you to learn the weave. You can control how much time you spend trying to do it. And that is a measurable goal. Even if you don't achieve what your version of success is, which may be a moving target, the further you get into your practice, the more subtleties you're aware of, the more you will come to understand different ways of expressing it or experiencing it or feeling it or seeing it or executing it with cleanliness or where it is relative to your body. All of these different elements become different as you get deeper into the practice. Thus, what you might think is getting it will shift as you get it. Thus, focusing on the amount of time that you're spending is something that you can control. It's clear, it's measurable, and it's objective. Therefore, I recommend time-based goals rather than achievement-based goals. Achievement-based goals are great in a secondary sense to direct what you're practicing on. Time-based goals are what keep you on the mat. And studies indicate being on the mat is more important than anything. The consistency of getting to the mat is what actually matters if you want to make progress in a practice. A time-based goal would be, I'm going to practice 3 times a week for 30 minutes. A skill-based goal is, I'm going to learn how to do a 4-petal anti-spin flower turnaround. That could take you a really long time. You have no idea how long it'll take. And so you may get frustrated along the way because it's some amorphous goal with no clear amount of time associated with it. Whereas if you're in your practice 3 times a week for 30 minutes, which isn't a very big commitment, but for normal people who have normal lives and have kids, for example, it's a reasonable goal for your own practice. You know that you've put in the time, even if you didn't achieve the move. Once you have utilized this based on the set of goals that you have, so if it's 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, or 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, at any point in time you can go back, reassess, and reevaluate. For example, I had students who made goals for 6 months out that they were able to learn in a month. Well, those goals are no longer useful. Better start making new ones. And the purpose of this is to give you a tool to help you. I mean, there's a reason people create project management charts and diagrams, because managing a project with specificity is helpful in achieving the goals. This is just a way of helping you organize your thoughts about how you're going to manage your practice in a clear, understandable, goal-based manner that's achievable.